How's it going, everybody? This is Craig Bush Rocks. Welcome to my channel. Boy, what a week it's been. We got Jamal Malcolm that died a few days ago. We got Ozzy that died, and today, we got Hulk Hogan. Oh, Terry, Bollea. I can never say his last name right. Yeah, I'm good at butchering names, but good old Hulk Hogan, man. That kind of threw me for a loop. He had a cardiac arrest, I guess, down in Florida there. 1953. He was born in 2025. 71 years old. Wow. I could say one thing as that's a big one for me. You know, being a Gen X and watching wrestling back when I was younger. That's what I'm going to talk about because he's a polarizing person, needless to say. But yeah, I remember watching him back in the day. One of my first introduction to wrestling way back when I think when WWF first came on air. I don't remember what year it was because I was gonna look it up because I was probably around 10 or 11 years old when wrestling popped up on the scene there, and I saw first time seeing Hogan or something like that. And so I never watched that WrestleMania where he body slammed Andre the Giant. I seen videos of it afterwards, probably during an event that they had afterwards and stuff like that. But it was awesome just to see that he body slammed Andre the Giant, because at the time wrestling was wrestling. It was just something new coming on TV, and watching it, and it was great. Seeing Hogan pop up on there, I learned to like wrestling back then. It's like, oh my goodness, man! It's like, what is this? This is pretty cool. Those stories that they always had, and watching maybe Hulk Hogan fight on Macho Man or something like that. Just watching them wrestle. It's like there's certain wrestlers I've always liked. Macho Man was one of them. Hogan, Andre the Giant, all those old school wrestlers. Those are wrestlers from my day and stuff like that. When I look at wrestling today, I'm not a big fan of it, to be honest with you. I just don't really care for it. My era was back in the 80s. I'm wearing my Voltron shirt. So when I look at Hulk Hogan, that's when I look at it. And I remember at a college campus, I could never remember which one it was, but sitting there on the front lawn and stuff like that, and Boy Scouts and stuff like that. And it was raining like it is right now. It's raining outside, but it was storming pretty good. So to get out of the rain, I run inside one of the campus places and stuff like that. And on TV, they had that Hulk Hogan's Rockin' Wrestling cartoon. That was my first time actually seeing that cartoon. I think that came on in 1985. So I was probably in Boy Scouts at the time. So yeah, just seeing that, it's like, holy crap, they got a cartoon, and seeing Hogan on there and stuff like that. That was so great, just seeing that. At the time, being 85, I'm kind of getting older and stuff like that. Believe it or not, 85, yeah. I was like 73. I was born in 73, 83. I was probably about 12, 13 years old, probably around that time and stuff like that. I was still watching the wrestling stuff, here and there, digging it and stuff like that, watching the stories and watching Hogan and the whole gang, Bobby Heenan and stuff like that. But it was great just seeing that cartoon and stuff like that. As time gone on and stuff like that, I've been watching wrestling here and there, and then Hogan got that reality show, I think Hogan Knows Best, which I never really watched, to be honest with you, because about that time I just was falling out of television altogether. But yeah, just watching his career, the good and the bad, the controversies and everything that he's been through, having the Hall of Fame, getting it stripped and then getting it back, and just recently, before he died, I guess he got baptized and stuff like that. So I followed his career and stuff like that somewhat. But it was nice just, being a kid, watching someone like Hogan. It was like, if there was one wrestler I would love to meet, Hogan would be the one I would want to meet. Yeah, just for that fact, is like, yeah, man, you were awesome back in the day. Being the kid, getting introduced to it was WWF at the time. And watching you in that and all the other old wrestlers and stuff, a lot of them died and stuff like that. But Hogan hits the hardest when it comes down to I call the originals from the WWF era and stuff like that, from Hogan. For me personally, I was like, damn. It's like Hogan died today. It's like that kind of hit pretty hard. I mean, Ozzy was one, and then you got Hogan. I wanted to do a video about Malcolm because maybe next week I'll try to do something on that. But being a Gen X person this week, yeah, it was kind of hitting pretty hard. Love him or hate him, it's Hogan. Rip, man. What a day, man. Yeah, you will be missed, Hogan, man. Like I said, did it bad or good, you're gonna be missed, buddy. So, all right, man. I'll check y'all in the next video. Bye, everybody. See ya.